Oh, g'day everyone. As you know, we've been talking a lot about gospel partnership, and one of the partners in ministry that we have the absolute privilege of being connected with is the Miracle School in Pakistan. You may not be aware of this, but Pakistan is a place in which Christians are well and truly oppressed. They don't enjoy the liberties that other people do in a place like that. And we're actually partnering, as you know, with Angela Michael, who runs the Miracle School in Pakistan. It's a school that has 700 to 1,000 children, hundreds and hundreds of families that they have the opportunity to support. And the reason is that many Christians in Pakistan, they are enslaved. These particular families work on the brick kilns within Pakistan. They're forced into labour. They earn very little income. But the coronavirus has actually presented an enormous problem for those communities that the Miracle School is seeking to love and to serve and to teach about Jesus. And I guess, Mills, like the coronavirus has been an enormous crisis throughout the entire world. But really, is it fair to say that in Pakistan, and particularly amongst the families of the Miracle School, it's very much a hunger crisis?
Yeah, that's right.
Like, can you tell us what's actually happening?
They're currently in lockdown in Pakistan at the moment.
Yeah.
And so what that means is that the families who are working on the brick kilns, they can't work there anymore. They can't work in shops or even as maids in people's homes. So they have no money. And not only that, they just don't even have any access to food because all of the wealthy people in Pakistan have been buying and storing it. And so really, it's a global hunger crisis to the point of the families in the school going without food, even to the point of starvation and to death.
Yeah, and so we've heard recently, and we're going to speak to Angela in a moment, who runs the school there. But before she comes on, like there are literally children in their community that are dying of starvation right now.
Right.
Yeah. Tell us, what's your connection with the Miracle School? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I heard about Miracle School and the work that they'd been doing in Pakistan and went over and visited at the end of 2017. And I think for me, I was so challenged to see other Christians who had such a strong faith in God, despite the circumstances that they were going through, because they actually knew that true hope and true life isn't found here and now in what we have, because they have nothing, but it's actually found in knowing Jesus. And we're brothers and sisters, so separated by countries, and that actually as one part of the church suffers, like we suffer, and as one part rejoices, we rejoice.
I actually want to get Angela on a Zoom chat to sort of talk to her, because we really want you to hear from her, like just what is happening there, and I'd really like us to try and do, in the generosity that God provides, something to help the Miracle School. So let's chat with Angela. Now, everyone, we've actually got Angela on a Zoom call with us from Pakistan. Hey, Angela, how are you?
Hi, Luther. I'm good. How are you? And hi, Amelia.
Hi, so good to see
you. It's so good to see you. Now, Angela, our whole church would be just so eager to know, what's happening with you guys at the moment? How are things as a result of COVID, and what's happening with the Miracle School in Pakistan? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, 2 months before, until 6th of March, the Miracle School Ministries were catering and providing education to all these children who are coming every day, every morning to the school, having a good life in good environment, having education, healthcare, and food and good care, like their home in the schools. But suddenly on 6th of March, due to coronavirus, as the lockdown have announced, the schools has to shut down. Now schools are closed, and it was really a great shock for all of these children and all of the staff and all of us even until now. All these people who used to work on the brick kilns, they have no any wages. The brick kilns are also closed, and any brick kiln owner is not paying a single penny to these enslaved people, and they do not have any earnings. All the maids and daily wages people have been fired because of the protection from coronavirus. And all the rich people, they already have, purchased all the food, and then and these poor people who have no access, the poorest of the poor, the brick kiln communities do not have any access to the food. And unfortunately, miracle schools, their children are also victim of this hunger crisis that is happening back here in Pakistan. And all these people are the victim of hunger virus rather than coronavirus. So at the moment, the schools are closed, but our house church pastors who are really, really very determined to go and take time with these people, praying with them, sharing the word of God, and trying to console these people with the hope that God is always in control and always with them. Does not matter whether it's a hard time or a good time, but God is always with us.
Sounds like it's absolutely a horrendous time, but we're so grateful that you are on the ground with the pastors serving the people and giving them such a hope in this time that we have in Jesus. We just want to give you an opportunity to share with us any final thoughts or anything that you want to encourage or challenge us with here.
Thank you so much, We Miracle. I'm saying thanks to you, to you, Luther and Amelia, as taking the initiative back in Australia. You know, we really are very thankful. Even we have no words to explain how supportive we are feeling in this time. We as a ministry working here, but if we would not have people like you guys, like Anglican Aid, like people like Hope Anglican Church members and families like you and Amelia, having a heart for these people. So we feel like a new life at the moment, because we are really in such a miserable condition for these people. When we see these people, we could hardly have a bite. And the food that we have in our table, you know, it's hard to imagine the pain and the suffering that these people are facing at the moment. And we have lost one of our teacher in the brick kiln who used to teach in a Sunday school, and she was one of the graduates, and then we raised her over there, and she passed away due to corona and the hunger virus. Then we lost a couple of little kindergarten children in one of the Sunday schools in Kasur. You guys have no idea that even couple of cup of coffees dollars could save hundreds and thousands of people's life over there. The dollar difference is really a huge. So I invite you to share what God has provided you and save these brick killing people and children, as it is really miserable conditions over here. People who have children could imagine, you know, it's hard. So join your hands to share whatever God has blessed you with, and break the chain of slavery through of this hunger crisis with the great generosity that God has given you. Thank you so much.
I'm sure it's pretty obvious, like just hearing from Angela, like the massive need that is there immediately on the ground in Pakistan with the families connected with Miracle School. Can I say that I really, when I heard about what was going on through Mills and speaking to Angela, like I really felt a burden that, you know, those who we carry each other's burdens, and in that way we fulfill the law of Christ. Like there's just something about the Miracle School. This is a partner of ours. These are Christian brothers and sisters. Angela is a treasured friend and partner with us in ministry. She does an amazing work as a volunteer running that school and reaching out to thousands of people, hundreds of families within Pakistan. I think we can do something. And so we contacted Anglican Aid and said, can we set up a particular campaign? And so we've set up a website particularly for this, and hopefully as our church gets on board this, other churches might raise some money to alleviate the immediate problem around starvation, particularly for the children in the Miracle School community. So Mills, if we were to raise some money as a church community and send it over there immediately, like in the next week, what would that do?
So for a family, for one family, if we're able to give 12 Australian dollars, that's enough to buy that family a dry ration pack, which has rice and tea and essentials oil and flour, so that they can eat at least one meal a day, and that lasts for about 3 weeks to a month. And so I think here at Hope, we want to try and raise the money so that we can support 400 of the families in the Miracle Schools ministry. So that would look like us trying to raise about $5,000.
Yeah, and obviously, poverty is a problem throughout the world that we cannot solve. But this is something that we can do, Hope. I reckon if 100 of us, individuals or families, all donated at least $50 each, then we could raise $5,000. If we raise $5,000, we would have enough to support 400 families for at least the next 3 weeks, with enough food to ensure that the children are okay. Hope, can I implore you to do this? We'll provide links through the website. We'll put it out through Facebook and the different media. Can I encourage you, when you see that, to click on it, to click through, to give as generously as you can. Some people might not be able to give $50. Some of you will be able to give much more than that. And we guarantee that that money will get immediately to the Miracle School within the next week. So as soon as you give it, it'll get turned around really quickly. We're hoping that not only our church does it, but other churches do it, so that we can help support our brothers and sisters in Christ and our partner in the gospel in Angela in Miracle School.
Yeah, that's right.
And to do it now. So can I encourage you, Hope, to be generous with what God has given you in support of those who really need it.